Hey, gorgeous mamas, how are you? I'm Danielle Cotis, and I'm so excited to be doing this little class with you today on success secrets of the working mom. Thank you so much, Lacey, for inviting me to be here with you guys and to share my input and my advice for the working mom, especially a new mom. So I'm Danielle Cotis, and I am a new mom coach. I coach moms who have transitioned into their new role. I help them to let go of the guilt, gain more energy, and kick that anxiety and depression to the curb. I specialize in working with moms who are suffering with postpartum depression and anxiety, and I help them to heal naturally. So I'm going to try and deliver this class as quickly and as effectively as humanly possible. I'm just going to give you a quick background of my story, and then I'm going to go into 10 tips for the success of a working mother, and kind of my little mom hacks of how to handle new motherhood and transitioning into the workforce. So I really suffered tremendously with postpartum depression and anxiety after my son was born. And part of the struggle was that I didn't have this magical career to go back to. I was kind of in between jobs, and I was trying to go back to school for my master's, and thus I had a baby, and it was really actually extremely difficult to even try to go back to work because it was not financially in the cards for me, and or go back to school, which was also not financially or time-wise going to happen for me at all. So I really struggled with that, and that was part of one of the stressors that caused me a lot of this postpartum depression and anxiety. What I really wanted was I wanted my own identity, because I had felt like I lost my identity to mom and wife. And I wanted to go back to work. I know a lot of you listening right now are like, oh my God, I don't want to go back to work. I want to stay home. Like, I was so depressed with my situation that I needed to go back to work. Like, I wanted that career. I wanted that job to go back from, to escape from this chaos of new motherhood and this, kind of a loss that I was having with my identity and my old life and things like that. So to make a very long story short, because I suffered so much with my postpartum depression and anxiety, I wrote a book, I talked to experts, I got help, I did self-help books, I literally immersed myself in everything that had to do with motherhood and, figuring out why I was feeling this way, why I had these issues as a new mom, why was I struggling more so than other moms, or why weren't more new moms talking about how hard being a mom is, and about all the struggles that we go through and all the emotional turmoil that we feel. It's as if your life was just, flipped upside down, stuck in a blender, and poured out on the ground. Like, it was just so intense for me. So I would immerse myself into that, and I was able to heal myself from postpartum depression in about maybe 3 or 4 months. So, before this, I had postpartum depression for about 10 months. I did work part-time for a little bit, but that wasn't good enough for me. So as I started to heal, and as I started to reach out to other moms and go to support groups and really just talk to other moms about my experience, what I found was that people were coming to me for my advice about how I healed and how did I become all of a sudden this wonderful flower that bloomed versus one that was stuck way under the ground, under the concrete, that was just drowning in depression and anxiety and just all things like suicidal thoughts, everything under the sun. And all of a sudden I bloomed into this wonderful flower that, was like, oh, I can help women. So what I ended up doing was turning, free advice into my business. And now I can work from home. I can work from anywhere in the world. And I am my own boss. I can show up when I want or don't show up when I want. If my kid's sick, I can be there when he's sick. I also still do work at a gym. I am a personal trainer and a group exercise instructor. So that also gives me a sense of purpose as well. But really what I was looking for was my own identity and my sense of purpose in the world. And I found it. And I absolutely love what I do. And so I just want to give you a couple of the tips that I used as I started my own business, as I transitioned back to really working and getting stuff done and really going back to work. And it may be a little bit different a scenario than what you have right now. So you might be going back to your regular job. But these 10 tips still apply to you and just in motherhood in general. So I really hope you take these 10 tips and I really hope they're helpful for you and really utilize them. Just because you're watching all these videos, just because you're listening to all these moms tell you their advice and their tips and tricks, it doesn't work unless you take the steps. It doesn't work unless you listen to the advice. So if you find yourself drowning with so much going on because you're back to work, and how do you take care of an infant, and when do you sleep, and all things like that, think about all these videos that you're watching. Think about all these moms that are here to help you, to guide you on your journey right now, to really give you what we wish we had, the knowledge that we wish we had when we started going back to work or when we became new parents. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first one is you really have to learn to go with the flow. Really get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Motherhood is a very uncomfortable journey. I mean that in the most magical way possible. But it is a lot of uncomfortability, a lot of situations of uncomfortability. You will feel a lot of emotions. This is very normal, especially with going back to work. You're going to feel that guilt. You're going to feel that almost like a part of you is missing. You're going to feel like you should be at home, or you should be taking care of your kid, or you wish you were lucky enough to be at home. So there's going to be a lot of thoughts that are going through your mind. And keep in mind, the same as for stay-at-home moms, they're going through the same struggles. It's just different thought processes, okay? So where you're guilty for going to work, they're guilty for staying home. So keep in mind that this is just part of the motherhood journey, because it's been so ingrained in us that we are lucky to stay home and take care of our kids, and that's what we're supposed to do. And this is a social norm that's happened for thousands of years, that you should stay home and that you should quit your job and that your kids shouldn't grow up with somebody else. Like, I get that. So there's all of this different turmoil that's going on because people have basically brainwashed us. And now it's kind of like, like that Instagram post is like, where we expect mothers to work now, right? And raise kids like they don't work. So keep in mind that, going back to work is now a social norm, and that so now we're kind of stuck between two eras, two generations, or however you say it, where now you're expected to go back to work, or at least make half of the money, right? Or at least a huge sum of the money, or if not the breadwinner. So I know there's a lot of turmoil going on, and there's going to be a lot happening, and it's going to be a really rough transition. So really, I just want you, it sounds silly, but you have to try to just go with the flow and just do what comes natural to you, and try not to get so upset about the things that are going on. If there's no pumping room, if there's your kid gets sick and you have to come home and your boss is complaining to you, like, these things happen. You're not the only person that is happening to. Sorry, my nose is itchy. These aren't the only people, you're not the only person that's happening to. It's happening to millions of women all over the world about this situation about going to work. So really just trying to go with the flow and just take it day by day. That's all you can do, day by day. And the second one is you really, really want to ask for a lot of help and a lot of support. Whether that's from family, that's from friends, that's from therapists, guides, mentors, whatever have you, your husband, your significant other. You really want to immerse yourself in as much support as humanly possible. Again, going back to work can be really difficult at times. So when you know that there's that mom that can help you out to watch your kid real quick after daycare, or if your parents are helping you out, can they help you out a little bit more on the weekends or at night? You want to make sure that there's people there to support you through this process. And, really find, someone to talk to. And this is going to go into our fourth thing, is that you want to build that mom tribe, right? You want to have, especially working moms, surrounding you to give you advice, to really help you. So whether that's joining a support group, joining a Facebook support group around working moms, so that you can get that help, that support, that advice about what to do in certain circumstances with your boss, or if your kid is sick, or finances change, things like that. So you really want to get as much advice and as much support and just immerse yourself in that. I really wish I had that when I first started going back to work, and when I became a mother in general. I really wish I reached out for that help and just asked somebody to help me, or just went there to talk, to a therapist or anything like that, just to let things off my chest. It's more of a release. To know that you're not the only one, that you're not alone in this struggle, that there's other women that have gone through it, and that you can get through it too. And it can be a good experience for you. It doesn't have to be really, really stressful and really much of a struggle. And number 3, so we talk a lot about, going with the flow, getting the help and the support. One of the most important things that you need as a new mom, and especially going back to work, is a really, really good self-care habit. So I don't know what self-care means to you. So you have to figure that out for yourself. But if that means that, every Monday night you get a chance to go out with your girlfriends, you get a chance to relax, go get your nails done, take some time for yourself, whatever it is, you really have to develop some sort of self-care habit. So before you go back to work, figure out what brings you joy. Figure out what brings you peace, whether that's reading a book, going to see a movie, hanging with your friends, your family, whatever. Figure out what that self-care habit is. For me, I chose meditation, and so it's my non-negotiable every day for at least 15 minutes. I get no children, no husband, no priorities, and I take that 15 minutes for myself every single day. So you have to develop a really good self-care habit and make sure that at least one of them that's really simple happens every single day, regardless of what's going on in your life, regardless of how stressful it is, regardless of what's going on at home or at work. You want to make sure that your partner knows that this is non-negotiable, your family knows this is non-negotiable. Figure that out, because that is going to save your life. That's going to save your sanity, is just to make sure that you have those really good self-care habits. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. Or delve into what used to make you happy, what used to bring you joy, what was your downtime, and that's really what that self-care habit is. Moving into number 5, keep in mind, motherhood is a huge journey, huge life change, huge learning curve. Everything is not going to be perfect. I know we have this perfect vision of what we want. It's not going to be perfect. And this transition back to work, it's probably not going to be perfect. And as the months go on, as the weeks go on, you will develop this sense of normalcy. You will develop your quote unquote, schedule, or your habits for each day, or your patterns. You will get into it. But note that the first one, get uncomfortable being comfortable. Things are constantly changing. So once you feel like you get your groove, things are going to change. Your kid's going to hit a sleep regression. Your kid's going to get sick. You're going to get sick. So there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. And really, what I want you to realize is that, it's okay that you don't know everything right now, that it's okay that everything in motherhood's not perfect. And it's all right that your transition back to work is not awesome. And it's okay to feel like it sucks at points in time in motherhood. It's okay to say that, this fucking sucks. This is terrible, whatever it is. It's okay to feel that way. But know that with the downs, of course, come the ups. So you want to make sure that you're aware that, it's just a lot of learning curves, a lot of getting things right. If you're going back to work and you're starting to pump, that's a thing in itself. You really have to get into the habit, really get into the swing of things. So there's a lot of ups and downs with that. So keep that in mind. And some days you're going to feel really good that you're at work, and then you're going to feel really bad that you're there. So this is a natural occurrence. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to go through these ups and downs, and really try not to beat yourself up. And that will lead us into tip number 6. You got to let go of the guilt. The guilt is immense. I felt really guilty about my postpartum depression and anxiety, and the thoughts I had and the feelings I had about motherhood in general, that I hated it, that I didn't like it. I felt immense guilt. I know you can't see my hands, but in my chest, it was this immense guilt, and it felt like it just came right over me. A lot of women, at least a lot of my clients, feel that when they go back to work, they feel this intense guilt that they're not home taking care of their kids. I want you to realize that what you're doing right now is the best option for you and your family. And that's what's going to keep you sane. That's what's going to help you let go of that guilt, is to know that whatever decision you made, and obviously that's the one to go back to work, is the right choice at this right time. And that that nothing is forever. So the way you can release that guilt is to know that for right now, you can financially afford to pay for things for your kid. You can financially afford your house because you're going back to work. You can show your kid your independence, your resilience, your work ethic. You're teaching them that it's okay for moms to work and also be a mom. It's all right for you to have your own identity outside of the house. So there's a lot of positive things about going back to work as a mom in this day and age. And I want you to realize that, we don't live in the 1950s. So it's all right that you're not at home. It's okay that you're not there. It will be fine. Somebody will raise your child, but you won't miss everything. You're not going to miss everything. I guarantee you're going to see it all. You're going to hear it all. You're not going to miss that much. I know right now it feels that way. I know that you have this immense pain about how much you're going to miss and about how much, you really just want to be there for your child, but right now, that's not in the cards. So you have to realize that, and you have to say it's okay, because you need to be financially stable to be able to take care of your child. You need to go back to work for your sanity, for your own identity. It's so important for you to keep your identity, and that's going to lead us right into number 7. The most important thing I can tell you is to find your identity outside of motherhood and a wife or whatever you are, baby mama. Find your identity outside of that. It's very important. The biggest loss I had was the loss of my identity, not feeling like myself, not feeling like I will ever accomplish anything again, not feeling like I will ever pursue my hopes and dreams. I just was so lost in the idea that the only thing I have in life now is that I'm a mom. Like, that's it. So going back to work ensures that you're going to keep an identity outside of your marriage, outside of motherhood. It ensures that you can still be you, that you can still enjoy things, that you can still be this person outside of the home, that you can bring something to the world, that you have a purpose, that you're helping people, that you're helping your company that you work for. It ensures that you have your true self. When we're so immersed in motherhood as a new mom, it can be drowning at times to not realize that, you have an identity outside of the home. And so going back to work will really help you hold on to that. So when I'm saying let go of the guilt, it means that it's okay because you can hold on to your identity. And that's so very important for new moms to have that sense of self, to feel like they have a purpose outside of just mom and just wife. So really hold on to that and use that as that place to let go of that guilt and really gain that energy from there to push forward that this is a great thing that you're doing. It's an amazing thing that you're choosing to go back to work, and that everything is going to work itself out because you still have you and you can still make decisions that are outside of your family. And number 8, there's always a solution to a problem that you have right now. So for example, a lot of my clients go back to work and they don't like it, or it's too many hours, or it's too stressful, or the finances aren't the right thing, or you're just sad that you're at work and you would rather just be at home. Know that you can change your mind at any time, that there's always this solution to the problem. So I know this is about working moms, but if you decide that you don't want to work anymore, it's all right to leave your job. It's okay. There's a way to figure out how you can make an income from home. There's a way to find out how you can work part-time. There's a way that you can find to work from home. There's so many different options that you have that you're not fully aware of because your head is so clouded, because your judgment is clouded about, you just feel so bad that you're at work, or you're just not financially stable, whatever. It's so clouded. So if you find yourself at a crossroads about whether or not you really want to work, or it's not working, or you would rather go part-time, or you want a perfect opportunity, you can find this. It's in you. It's inside your head. It's inside your heart. You can find the solution to the problem. You just have to get a clear head about it and really think about all the solutions. What are the different options for you? How can you do this? Talk to your boss, talk to other moms, figure out what they did. Again, I started my own business because going back to a regular job and a regular career was not an option for me at this time. It was not a financial option. So I could not do that. So I had to find another way. I also did multi-level marketing companies. Like, that's something you can do from home. I have a lot of my clients that now have asked their boss if they can work at home 3 days a week, as opposed to going into the office. And I have some friends who actually switched jobs and found a way to just work part-time, still have their identity, and still make a lot of money. So there's always a solution to a problem that you have with going back to work or just working in general. There's always a solution. You just have to be willing to look for it and find it. Number 9, always trust your instincts. In this day and age, unfortunately, we're always told don't trust our instincts. Think logically, think what's safe, think what works for you. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If I thought about what was safe starting my own business, I wouldn't be where I am today. So really trust what works for you. Do what's best for your family. Do what's in your heart. Do what makes you happy. Because we're so much told to not trust our instincts as new mothers, it's really hard for us to really make those decisions that really matter to us from our heart. So whatever you choose to do, going back to work, whatever you choose in your working field, or if you choose to leave or whatever, know that what you're feeling is the right feeling, and it's going to be what's best for you and your family. Don't worry about what everyone else says. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Do what works for you. That is the best advice someone gave me, is do what works for you and your family. Do what makes you sane. Do what makes you happy. If you're miserable, you're going to continue to be miserable. If you're happy, you're going to continue to be happy. So find that happy work-life balance. Find what works for you. Again, there's always that solution to the problem. There's always a way out of what you see as a negative circumstance. You just have to be willing to find it. So really trust your instincts. And advice number 10, tip number 10 is hire a mentor, hire a coach to help you with your transition into motherhood, to help you with your transition into work. I promise you it was the best decision that I ever made. And now this is what I do for others. I couldn't have done this by myself. I did a lot of things by myself in motherhood, and it was a very lonely and dark place for me. When I finally reached out for help, when I finally asked someone to guide me on this journey, when I finally hired that coach, I was able to move past all my blocks. I was able to get through this transition with ease and effortlessness. It was almost like they had the answers for me that I actually had all along. They were just showing me the path. They were showing me that I have wisdom. They were showing me that I have this intuition, that I can trust myself, that I can have a great life, that I can work and be home with my child and really have a wonderful experience in motherhood and have my own identity. So really, really find someone who can help you and walk you through your journey, walk you through your path, hold your hand, give you the advice, but also help you to develop your own wisdom, to develop your own truth, to see that you have the answers. But we can give you some advice to help you on the journey, to make it easier for you. That's all what is hiring a therapist, hiring a coach, hiring a mentor. That's what helps people get through the rough times, because they have the tools and resources, because they then have the education, because then they have the support system. So the biggest piece of advice I can say is that you should hire a coach, you should hire a mentor, you should go see a therapist, you should go see a social worker, you should join a support group. You have to do these things so that you're not alone on your journey, and that you're fully supported by everyone around you, that you have the education and the tools and resources to get you where you want to go. So if you're really struggling mentally right now, and you're really struggling with your transition into motherhood or your transition into the workforce, you really need someone to walk with you hand in hand and really, really be that shoulder to cry on, but also a person to lift you up and tell you that you're doing the right thing for you and you're doing the right thing for your family. So these are my tips for, the success of a working mom and just a new mom in general. If you are looking for some support in your motherhood transition, if you're trying to let go of that guilt that you have right now, gain a little bit more energy, kick that anxiety and depression to the curb, please book a call with me. You can check me out at theunfamiliarmom.com/book, and we can get on a call and we can talk about what you're going through and how I can help you. And if you're really suffering with postpartum depression or anxiety, or you're not sure if that's what you have, please reach out to me. Please reach out to your doctor. Don't waste any time right now. I don't want you to suffer like I did. I don't want you to feel lost in life. I don't want you to feel like going back to work is a burden. I want you to feel happy. I want you to enjoy you. I want your transition to be smooth and successful. I want you to feel like you mastered motherhood within the first couple months. So I do offer a wide variety of programs. My most popular one is the New Mom Magic Coaching Program. It's 90 days, and we really delve in deep of again, how to let go of that guilt. I teach you tools and tricks, and I give you resources of how to let go of that guilt, how to have more energy. And really, I focus a lot on dying down that anxiety, dying down that depression, really bringing up your self-confidence, really enjoying motherhood. And I give you practical, easy to follow, step-by-step tips and tricks to get you to where you want to go, which is this place of calm, this place of confidence, this I enjoy motherhood feeling, I am a good mom feeling. And you will see an immense transformation in the first 4 months. After that, it's all up to you from them, okay? So the 3-month program will blow you out of the water. By the 4th month, you're going to be a totally brand new person, and you're just going to love your life as a new mom. You're going to enjoy working. You're going to have a great time, and things are going to come a lot easier to you. It's going to be less overwhelmed. You're going to feel less burnt out. You're going to feel less stressed out. And really, that's what we want as new moms. We want to feel like a good mom. We want to feel like we're doing the right thing, and not just feel it. We want to know it. We want to know that we're doing what's right for us and what's right for our family and what's right for our baby. And that's what I help you to develop. So really kick that anxiety and depression to the curb. Book your call with me. You can click the link below or the button on the screen. And I want to thank you so much for being with me on the line here. If you want to find more about me, you can go to the Unfamiliar Mom fan page on Facebook. I give you free coaching and tips and tricks on new moms and dealing with depression and anxiety and that guilt that you have and transitioning into the workforce. You can also find me on Instagram, The Unfamiliar Mom, get the behind the scenes of my life and really get some much needed advice for new mothers. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Danielle Cotis, and I upload a video weekly. And you can also join me in my private Facebook group, the New Mom Sisterhood. We really dive into more private group coaching once a week, and I really get a lot of information from all of my subscribers, and I am able to produce a coaching video for you guys where we can interact and have that live Q&A where I can answer any questions that you have or tell you some tips and tricks that work for me and my clients and give you some advice on what you're going through. And really, I'm there for you. So whatever you want to talk about in our Facebook group is there for you. The women are there to support you. It's a safe space for you to feel like you can grow, feel like you can become empowered, and where you can go when you need help, where you can go when you need some support. This is a really safe place for you guys, and I really hope you join. So thank you all so much for being on the line with me. Thank you so much, Lacey, and good luck with motherhood. Good luck with your transition. And I promise you, if you just take it day by day, step by step, you trust your instincts, you follow your heart, it will get easier, it will get better, and you will feel more and more confident than you've ever felt. So day by day, step by step, and everything will work out just fine for you. Sending you so much love, mamas. Thank you.